Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to you. Thanks for joining us. The second round of qualifying in Africa for the 2022 FIFA World Cup is set to wrap up over the course of the next few days. It's a two-horse race for top spots in Group D. Cameroon trail Côte d'Ivoire by a point coming into today's game against Malawi in Johannesburg. They could put the pressure back on the Elephants, who are in action later this evening against Mozambique on neutral ground in Benin. So that is the state of play in Group D with 2 rounds of games still to play. Côte d'Ivoire on 10 points. They beat Cameroon in the first meeting between the two teams. Well, just one team will make it through from this section to the final qualifying round to be played next March, where 10 teams will contest 5 two-legged home and away ties to determine the 5 African representatives in Qatar at the end of next year. Malawi won't be one of those sides, but they are hoping to use their last 2 qualifiers to build up towards next year's Africa Cup of Nations finals, and set to make a return to the continental tournament for the first time since 2010. And they are looking to spoil the party for Cameroon this afternoon. Their temporary home in Johannesburg. They have just the 3 points so far. Malawi beating Mozambique by a 1-0 at the start of September, match day 2. And they were beaten 2-0 by Cameroon in Yaoundé to kick off the second round of qualifiers. Lost both legs of the double-header last month against Côte d'Ivoire. Beaten at 3-0 here on match day 3, and then going down at 2-1 in Benin on match day 4. Well, pressure on at Cameroon this afternoon. They know they can't afford a slip up in the race for first place in Group D. And they were beaten 2-1 by Côte d'Ivoire on a match day 2 in Abidjan. And a couple of wins over Mozambique in October kept them firmly in contention for a place in Qatar. The Orlando Stadium in Johannesburg has served as Malawi's home for these qualifiers. Malawi, one of a number of countries whose stadium facilities and all playing surfaces were considered not up to international standards. Alternate venue nominated as a result. Malawi in the tunnel, getting set to make their way out. Kick-off round about 7 or 8 minutes away in Johannesburg. Some of the Cameroon substitutes making their way out to the bench for the 2 starting teams. We'll follow them out as well. Andre Onana back in at goal for Cameroon this afternoon. Available once more after serving a 9-month doping ban, which ended at the start of November. On the road to the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar continues in Johannesburg this afternoon, where Cameroon are on the hunt for 3 points against Malawi to stay firmly in the mix for top spot in Group D. Ahead of a final day showdown with leaders Cote d'Ivoire. Cameroon must do without Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting, the striker forced to self-isolate after being a close contact with a Bayern Munich teammate who tested positive for COVID-19. But they know they can't afford a slip-up against the Malawi side, no longer in contention for a spot in Qatar. So it is Malawi up against Cameroon. 5 changes for Malawi from the team beaten last time out 2-1 by Cote d'Ivoire. Returning to the lineup, Richard Mbulu, whose goal secured their place in next year's Africa Cup of Nations final. The winner against Uganda on a match day 6 in qualifying for that competition. Also has accounted for Malawi's only points in World Cup qualifying so far. The winner in the 1-0 victory against Mozambique on a match day 2. Mbikani Mzava also back to captain his team. This afternoon's officiating quartet from Senegal is to see the match referee. Vincent Aboubakar, captaining Cameroon, scored the winning goal in the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations final against Egypt. A veteran of 2 World Cups, 2010 and 2014. Hoping to appear at a 3rd next year. So 4 changes for Cameroon from the team that scraped past Mozambique by a 0-0 last time out. No Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting, but Andre Onana is back, playing his first match since the end of January after serving that suspension for taking a banned diuretic. Said he mistakenly took his wife's medicine. The original ban was a year, but it was cut by 3 months on appeal by the Court of Arbitration for Sport. And he has been brought back by Cameroon coach Antonio Conceição. Looking ahead to next year's Cup of Nations finals being held in Cameroon. Conceição wasting no time in recalling Onana. Cameroon in yellow this afternoon. Malawi boss Nick Mwasi took over in June of 2019. Former national team defender. Referee just waiting for the clock to strike the hour. It's Malawi in the all-red strip to get us underway against Cameroon in Johannesburg. Cameroon, really touched there for Onana. Cameroon looking for a win that would put the pressure back on at Côte d'Ivoire. With the two nations duel it out for a place in the next round of FIFA 2022 World Cup qualifying. Gerald Fury Jr. and 5 players brought back in to the Malawi side for this match. He spent much of his career in Zimbabwe and South Africa. Stanley Sanudi looking it back to Brighton Muntali. Ball played forward and referee's whistle. Goes free kick to Cameroon. From Sanudi. Charles Petro. Looking it forwards. Foul on Abubakar. Free kick here for Cameroon. Potential shooting opportunity. It's quite a long way out, but seeing a number of players try their luck from this sort of range. These qualifiers. Two varying degrees of success. Andre Frank, Sambo and Gisa. Perhaps fancying this set piece. As for Serie A leaders, Napoli unbeaten through 12 games in Italy. Level on points at the top with AC Milan. Above them on a goal difference, but it will be Nicola Ungamelu who will take charge here. 6 yellow shirts up ahead of him, direct, and it's on to the roof of the net, not too far away from Ungamelu. Does have 1 goal on the qualifiers, came in the 2-1 loss against Côte d'Ivoire in Abidjan. Goal coming from the penalty spot. And the ball wide back in at Malawi territory. Free kick conceded. And foul on Ungamelu. Plays with young boys in at Switzerland. Taking part in this season's UEFA Champions League. Crosses played in, headed away with relative comfort. Support for Francisco Madinga. He's quickly dispossessed of the ball. Back with it come Malawi. Dribbled out by Fury Jr. Nana. Resumed training in September with the Ajax youth team. Onana has yet to make a first team appearance though for the Dutch Giants since serving that 9-month ban. He was named among the substitutes for their last match in the Dutch top flight. Antonio Conceição took charge of Cameroon in September of 2019 after the dismissal of Clarence Seedorf following their last 16 exits. The 2019 Africa Cup of Nations beaten by Nigeria in the first knockout round. Malawi to create an opportunity, the flag goes up. And again, it's Richard Mbudu. Just straight behind the last defender, Jean-Claude Bilong. Scored the winner against Mozambique last time out. Foul by Karl Toko Ekambi. He's been in good form for Lyon this season in France, Toko Ekambi. Particularly in Europe, where he scored it 6 times in 4 appearances in the UEFA Europa League. Strike in the 3-1 win over Mozambique. Third game in this group stage. The pressure applied, and hitting the deck was Ngamelu. So it does eventually go, but it's a free kick in favour of Malawi. Cameroon have qualified in African at best 7 times for the World Cup. That's more than Nigeria. Best performance came in at 1990. And they reached the quarter-finals, losing 3-2 to England after extra time. Set to host the Africa Cup of Nations next year for the first time in half a century. Well, the original hosts in at 2019. The tournament was eventually played in Egypt. Cameroon given the 2021 edition instead, delayed a year by the coronavirus pandemic. Both teams just feeding their way into this game. Nuhu Tolo. 2 US-based players in the starting lineup for Cameroon, alongside Olivier Mabatso. Mabatso plays with Philadelphia Union. Tolo for the Seattle Sounders. Both of their clubs involved in the MLS playoffs, which will start after this international break. Cameroon in the attack here. Toko Ekambi tries to pull it back. isolated figure up front so far, Richard Mbulu. Ngadu. Pass off the mark. Intended target appeared to be Boubacar. Now based in Saudi Arabia with Al Nassr. Boubacar left Besiktas in July. Also had a spell in Portugal with Porto. Petro. The space here, laid off by Gamelu, crosses well over the heads of the two yellow shirts inside that Malawi box. Back to Onana. Just got to be careful here. Onana nearly had it taken away from him. Actually does in the free kick, but play for Onana. Ball rebounding back to him after he was closed down. Would not have been the start would have been looking for on his return. That resulted in a goal. He kept in play just about by Olympique. One of the 5 changes made for this match by Malawi. Madinga out towards Sanudi. And well by Tolo. Nice layoff from Zamgo and Kisa. Running beyond Abubakar. Fury. Triggered wild celebrations in Lilongwe. Richard Mbulu with his goal against Uganda. Final round of qualifying for next year's Africa Cup of Nations finals. Malawi set to make their 3rd appearance at the tournament. In the group stage in 1984 as well as 2010. Have never qualified for the World Cup. We'll have to wait at least another 4 years. Ngadu. Onana out of contract at Ajax at the end of the season. Appears as if he will move on from the Dutch club. Contract talks breaking down. Nice exchange there, Toko Ekambi. Going into a defender though. Fury. Back by Ngado. Zambo Anguissa just settling things down for Cameroon. Hongla towards Mbatsu on the right hand side. All into the area, allowed to run by Petro. Advancing forward here, Malawi could have done with a better touch there, but Mbulu might yet still get there. He does, cuts it across, and well, he made the most of it there. Mbulu, good ball in, not too far away from picking out Kuda Mayaba. Will be a corner for the Flames. Mbulu, flat on his back here. Right. 66 places separating these two sides in the latest FIFA World Rankings. Cameroon at 54 in the world, Malawi 120. Malawi overcame Botswana 1-0 on aggregates in the first round of qualifiers for the 2022 World Cup. See if we can get a better look at what might be afflicting Mbulu there. Difficult to tell. Be swung in towards goal by Gerald Fury Jr. And it's wide of that near post. Mayaba and Mazava both attacking it. It is the captain, Mazava. Celebrated his birthday yesterday. Made a reference to that in the build-up to this match as well. Looking to offer himself the gift of 3 points against Cameroon. The free kick coming up for Cameroon. Foul on Ngomelu by Francis Mulumbika. Well, Zambo Anguissa try here. Floats it in to the box, too close to the Malawi keeper, Brighton Muntali. And then it lumps it upfield. Should be dealt with by Onana. Cameroon hoping that Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting will be available for a potential winner-takes-all showdown with Ivory, with Côte d'Ivoire on at match day 6. Chance here perhaps for Cameroon. Boubacar unable to bring that one under control. Cameroon coach Antonio Conceição has called these last two qualifiers a pair of finals for his team. A draw at the very least required this afternoon to keep them in contention going into that game with Côte d'Ivoire. And they will be certainly hoping for maximum points. Towards Boubacar. Chance here, is it for Cameroon? It might be. Difficult angle, and it's over the line, is it? The referee has pointed to the spot, and I suspect he may well show the red card here. Handball on the line to keep that one out. Very nearly crossed the line as well. Will be a penalty for Cameroon. It was Nicolas Ngemelu who got his way past Mentali, pulled it back for his teammate. Angle working against him, picked out Boubacar, who was in a far better position, and on the line John Banda keeping it out but using his arm, and the referee with little hesitation reaching into his pocket to pull out the red card, and Banda forced to make the slow walk off. Cameroon with a chance to take the lead against the 10 men of Malawi. Will be the captain, Boubacar, to take the penalty. Mentali found himself caught out as he was rounded by Ngemelu. Can he make up for it here by keeping out the spot kick from Boubacar? Vincent Boubacar converts calmly, and Cameroon have the 1-0 lead midway through this first half in Johannesburg. And is the captain for the indomitable Lions, the man who won them in the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations late on against Egypt. Struck first here against Malawi. Banda trying to sell as if he'd used his head to clear that one off the line. Clear use of that upper arm though. He has issued his marching orders, and Boubacar takes full advantage, tucking away from the spot. Double blow for Malawi. Now a man and a goal down. To have a player down here on the near sideline. New starts will be delayed so that Kudamayaba can be checked out. Bubakar with his second goal in these qualifiers, also bagged the opener against Malawi early on in a match day one in Yaoundé. So Malawi restarting after conceding the opening goal. We'll have to do it without John Banda sent off for that handball on the goal line. A tight decision going against Malawi. Right off by Toko Ekambi to Nsambo Anguissa. Bilong had rolled beyond the touchline. Malawi going to make a change. Reshuffle here. Francisco Madinga, the unfortunate man to be sacrificed. Chikoti Chua on in his place. Chua started the loss to Côte d'Ivoire last time out. Brought on here way through the first half. Chance perhaps for a second for Cameroon. The shot this time blocked from Hongla. Goal difference could well come into the equation. So Cameroon might look to try and take advantage of the extra man. Toko Ekambi giving chase, but well defended by Mazava. Malawi captain shielding it out for a goal kick. I'm just going back to that point about the goal difference. It could come into play, but only if Cameroon are held this afternoon to a draw. And Côte d'Ivoire beaten by Mozambique. So it is possible. It would appear unlikely, given that Cameroon have the lead and an extra man. Focus for them very much making sure they do go on to win this one. It's very much in their favour. As we approach the half-hour mark in Johannesburg. Free kick here for Malawi. Foul on Mbulu. Set pieces might represent their best opportunity to fight their way back into this match. Fury to create some problems here for Cameroon defense. Decent looking ball in. A tad overhit though. This is late penalty. Gerald Fury Juniors secured the win over Botswana in the first qualifying round, and all the way back in September of 2019. More than 2 years ago now. But even though Malawi no longer have a chance of qualifying for the 2022 World Cup, they are hoping to use these last two qualifiers as a chance to fine-tune their preparations and perhaps experiment a bit going into the Cup of Nations finals at the start of next year in Cameroon. Petro. Inside to Chua. Petro again. Fury. Spread out towards Mbulu. Pull back to Sanudi. Chua. It's the 1-2, Sanudi. Ball in is deflected. And Cameroon with an opportunity here to launch the counter. Abubakar, the goal scorer. Ngamedu. Ngamedu created that opening kill. Getting beyond Malawi keeper Brighton Mentali. Pulling it back for Abubakar. The shot was handled on the line. Samuel Guet, based in Belgium with Mechelen. Godot also plays his club football in Belgium with Ghent. Mabezo on a bad ball. Koto Akambi kept out by Mentali. Toko Akambi able to get on the end of that cross. Mentali making sure it didn't get beyond him though. Have a look at the penalty incident. Dispatched coolly by Abubakar. veteran presence in this Cameroonian side. Hasn't really been tested yet. Andrew Onana nearly got caught out in possession, but it's the only real hairy moment so far for the Cameroon keeper. Ten minutes left at the end of this first half in Johannesburg. Cameroon looking pretty comfortable as things stand. Now can Malawi make something of this here? The shot isn't too much power in it. The defender Tolo knocking it out for a throw. Good vision though from Muyaba. Pick out the run. Teed it up invitingly. Belong. Solo. Mgwet. Right out to the right here. Ngamelu. Will be a throw in for Cameroon. First time layoff by Hongla. Ngamelu. Again, bursting into that area. Will be just a goal kick. So taking a final touch off the Cameroonian. Mick Mwase earned a new deal as Malawi coach after the win over Uganda, which sealed their place at the Cup of Nations finals. Was previously in charge of the under-23 and under-20 national teams. Replaced Belgian Ronnie van Genoegden just under 2.5 years ago. Free kick for Cameroon. Muyaba penalised. Solo. Nice space here for the Cameroon left back. Toko Akambi. Tolo. Caught off the ball. Referee just warning Gerald Ferry Jr. Just clipping at Solo. Will be a free kick for Cameroon. And Zambo Anguissa in it to the area. It comes towards the far post. Off the crossbar from Ngadu. Well, he's already got 2 goals in these qualifiers. Mikel Ngado, including the winner last time out against Mozambique. Very nearly a 3rd goal there, denied by the woodwork. Also scored against Malawi on match day 1. That 2-0 victory. Corner, this time defended a little better by Malawi. Mungret. Petro loses his footing and will concede the corner. At 20 years of age, Charles Petro plays for Sheriff Tiraspol, the Moldovan champions. And of course, shocked Real Madrid in this season's UEFA Champions League. Brought back down to earth by back-to-back losses against Inter Milan. Very much still in with a shot of reaching the last 16 of that competition. Want to work short, the Zambo Anguissa, and what a hit that is from the Napoli man. Set himself up with that first touch and lashed the volley beyond Brighton Muntali. A 2-0 to Cameroon, getting a second here just before half-time. A long way back now for Malawi. Corner taken at short, and a player of Zambo Anguissa's class allowed far too much time and space. Muntali able to get down to it. Only watch it flash it beyond him. The second goal for Cameroon late in this first half. All going to plan for the indomitable Lions so far in Johannesburg. Sterner tests will await though against Côte d'Ivoire on Tuesday. We'll deal with that when the time it comes, but for now, very much passing this test with flying colours. Sanudi. Chua. That's a late tackle from Chua. Will just be a yellow card, but very late challenge from the substitute. Cameroon not at all happy. Frank Zambo Anguissa on the receiving end. Straight through the back of Zambo Anguissa. Not a good challenge at all from the Malawi midfielder. Fortunately for Zambo Anguissa, he was off the ground. Still a painful blow. It looks like it could have been worse in hindsight. Those legs been planted on the ground. Appears to have shaken it off pretty quickly. Vizo. Zambo Anguissa. Vizo. Was attempted the cushion layoff. A couple of minutes added on here at the end of the first half. Pretty comfortable for Cameroon. We'll just be mindful not to present Malawi a chance right at the end of this opening period. Rolling away from Mbulu. Trying to swing it in, but poked it away from himself with his left foot. Bilong. Nice for Hatayspor in Turkey. Jean-Claude Bilong. Ngadou. Solo. And ball forwards over the head of Abubakar. Chester. And the referee brings an end to this first half in Johannesburg. The 10-man of Malawi trailing Cameroon by 2-0. Vincent Abubakar opening the scoring from the penalty spot midway through that first half. John Banda sent off for a handball on the line. And then Andre Frank Zambo Anguissa following in a second, a few minutes before the break. Cameroon well on course for a 4th win in 5 outings in Group D. It would send them above Côte d'Ivoire, who are in action later on this evening against Mozambique. In Benin, Mozambique, bottom of the pile with just the 1 point so far. Welcome back to Orlando Stadium in Johannesburg. Both teams making their way back out ahead of the start of this second half. It is Cameroon who have a 2-goal lead against Malawi. It's Abubakar and Andre Frank, Zembo and Gisa striking in that first half against a Malawi team reduced to 10 men after John Banda was sent off for a handball on the line. Penalty converted by Abubakar to give his team the advantage. Andre Onana also back in the fold after 9 months out for a doping ban. It's had a fairly straightforward return to action so far. Yet to be tested by Malawi. So we are back underway in this second half in Johannesburg. Cameroon in the driving seat. 2 goals to the goods. With a man extra as well. We will take over first place in the group for a few hours at least, with a victory in this one. Côte d'Ivoire up against Mozambique later on tonight. Côte d'Ivoire unbeaten in Group D after 4 matches with 10 points. Cameroon came into this one with 9 and would go 2 points clear if they make it 4 wins from 5. Cameroon will then host Côte d'Ivoire on Tuesday in Douala, shaping up to be a huge encounter to determine which team will stay in the running for a place in Qatar next year and which team will be eliminated from a contention. Zembo and Gisa followed in the second for Cameroon shortly before the break. Abubakar, out of a shot here. Abubakar slides it through instead, and Toko Ekambi touch just getting away from him. Mgwet. Zembo and Gisa. Cameroon again coming forward to be a free kick as Abubakar blocked off by Limbikani Mazava. Was booked in that first half, the Malawi skipper. Burundi placing the ball down with intent. Can have a shot here. All over. Attempting to add to his tally. Not all that close. 4 of the 10 spots in the third and final qualifying rounds already locked up. Senegal, Mali, Egypt and Morocco guaranteed a place in the two-legged home and away ties to be played next March. One of those 10 spots will go to either Cameroon or Côte d'Ivoire. Ngomelu has caused problems for Malawi today. Still going to Ngomelu. Too close to Mentali. At the bounce, well, Nuhutolo. Bulu. Ngadu. Almost struck for the third time in at qualifying, hit the crossbar in the first half. The Cameroon at centre back. Mabazo. Held off by Hongla. Zambo Anguissa. Ngomelu rolls it into the path. And his teammate gets the return ball here from Hongla. Ngwet. Play continues uninterrupted. Mabazo. Fury Jr. Almost running into trouble. Imikani Chester. Fury. Chua. Good ball out to the right. Bulu. Charge down up by Nuhutolo. Malawi certainly don't have an awful lot to lose. They can use these last 2 qualifying matches to experiment to an extent ahead of next year's Africa Cup of Nations. I'll be in a group alongside 2019 at runners-up Senegal, as well as Zimbabwe and Guinea. As for Cameroon, the host, they've been drawn alongside Burkina Faso, Ethiopia, and Cape Verde in at Group A. Tournament's kicking off on the 9th of January. Final set for the 6th of February. Fury Jr. Towards Mbulu. Driven in. Wasn't a bad delivery. Mayaba threw himself at it. Wasn't quite able to wriggle free of Jean-Claude's Bilong Mayaba. Baizo. Chua. Zava. Ntali. Chua. Mbulu. Poor ball from Mbulu. Brighton at Mentali. Sat down inside his area. Looks to have strained something. Physio out to investigate. To have a couple of goalkeepers among the substitutes. Malawi, Richard Chipua and Ernest Kikobwe. Both of them have appeared in the second round of qualifying as well. It's Tabubakar with the opening goal, and Andre Frank, Kasembo and Gisa are following in the second in that first half after John Banda was shown a straight red card. Tally set to at least try and continue. Solo. Bazo. Bilong was it forward, chested down nicely, but quite picking out Bubakar. Chua spinning away from a trouble. Kept in play well by Kimikani Chester. Oh, looked as if it had gone beyond the byline. Does end up in the nets, but will be a goal kick. Great endeavour initially shown by Chester. Just overran it. And clearly going out of play. Mabizo. Godot. Belong. Mabizo. Ongla. Gamelu. Gamelu again, and it's claimed by Mentali. It's looked lively down this right-hand side. Nicola Gamelu. Dominica. Chester. Mentali. Throw in for Malawi. Mayuba. Bulu. Chiwa. Chester receives the pass from Fury. Chester rolling past Miyaba. Tolo. Could well see some changes coming up for Cameroon. I'll try and keep some of those legs as fresh as possible ahead of the game with Côte d'Ivoire. Will be Malawi first, though, to make a couple of changes. Gerald Fury Jr. He's going to make way here. Chimamwe Idana. And Peter Banda also brought on, taking the place of Yamikani Chester. As if Frank Sembu and Gisa is going to be replaced here for Cameroon. Certainly played his role, as has the other goal scorer, Vincent Abubakar. Let's look back at Sembu and Gisa's strike, thumping it beyond Brighton Mentali. James Lea Saliki and Stefan Barakin. Two men introduced here. Just over an hour played. Two key players for Cameroon. Given a bit of rest, the results more or less beyond doubt. Saliki, based in England, in the second tier with Middlesbrough. Barrakin is in the French top flight with Angers. Hongla. Godot. Bit of work to do here. Solo not going to get there in time. Bulu. Montali. Nudge in the back on a Banda. Free kick taken quickly by Malawi. Olambika. Space for Toko Akambi. Launches it beyond Stanley Sanudi. Hongla. Looks as if he's going to occupy the position vacated by Sambo Nkisa. Just dropping a little deeper. The Hellas Verona midfielder. There's Saliki. Comfortably over. Opportunity perhaps for the substitutes to give Antonio Conceição something to think about. How that clash against Côte d'Ivoire. Ngamelu drives it wide of the far post. Tightly done by Ngado. Malawi not happy with the decision. Christian Basagog. Get a run out here. Going on for Nicola Ngamelu. Hasn't played in a couple of months, Basagog. The Shanghai Shenhua player. Try and shake off some of the rust in the latter stages of this one. Voted the best player at the 2017 Cup of Nations, as Cameroon won the tournament for the 5th time. There's Saliki bring it back for Cameroon. There's Saliki. Cameroon in the attack once more. Defending this time from Malawi. Player down for Cameroon, Olivier Mabezo. Referee will stop play. Trailing leg caught. Just felt something. Mabezo. Just going back to Basagog, the Chinese Super League season. Regular season finishing in August, set to resume the championship and relegation stages in around about a month's time. Antonio Conceição keen to give Basagog a chance to get some minutes though under his belt to try and keep some sort of rhythm. And Godot rattling the crossbar in that first half just before Cameroon double their lead through Andre Frank Zambo-Anguissa. Tricky bounce in front of Mentali. Got there before Bahakin. Rather complicated unnecessarily by the defender. Belong. All given away cheaply by Malawi. Hasn't been any great tempo to this second half. Results more or less put to bed. There's always going to be an uphill struggle for Malawi once they went down to 10 men. More than an hour to play. Still yet to draw a save from Andrea Nana. Cameroon also keen not to overexert themselves with the clash against Côte d'Ivoire on the horizon. More changes coming up. Martin Hongla will be replaced by Andre Tawamba. He's in at Saudi Arabia with Al Tawoun. The day done for Hongla, the Hellas Verona midfielder. Antonio Contisal ringing the changes in this second half. Peter Banda, one of the Malawi replacements, down receiving some treatments after that foul by Tawamba. To the final quarter of an hour in Johannesburg. Chances very much at a premium after half-time. So Malawi will be temporarily down to just 9 men. Belong. Good day. Bahoken bounces off one man and wins the free kick. His arm and his shirt tugged by Mbulu was Bahoken. Posing at number 9. There's Saliki. Solo. Bahoken. Going for it out on the right. Basagog. Doesn't quite reach him. Basagog trying to set up Bahoken. Another Malawi player down here. Referee calling for the stretcher. Well, Mekmawasi forced to make another change here. And is the substitute Peter Banda loaded on to the stretcher. Still struggling from that earlier challenge. Cameroon with just over 10 minutes to see the remainder of this one out. Fourth win in 5 matches all but sewn up for the indomitable Lions. Gado. Canago. 5 new faces in the second half. Side flag raised on the near side though. Referee's assistant spot on with the decision. Lloyd Njliwa coming on for Malawi. Peter Banda and the substitutes being forced off. On his place coming Njliwa. Flag going up once more against Cameroon. This one a fraction closer. Chua. Well, we could make it interesting if they do grab one back, but they haven't at all looked like doing so to this point. Cameroon holding their shape well. Given away here, and a chance to add to the advantage for Cameroon, but a pretty tame shot. Routine save for Montali. Petro. Chua. Petro again. Mozambique. Bulu's going to give chase and catching Mabizo in pursuit of the ball. Just clipping the left foot of Mabizo. Throw in for Cameroon. Well, Cameroon have, it would appear, won the first of the two finals facing them as they came into match day 5 with 9 points. Haven't done much wrong this afternoon. Task made rather simpler by the first half dismissal of John Banda. They were fairly quick to take advantage and have been comfortable since that point on. Dominica. Zava. It's going to be no 28th birthday present for him, at least in terms of a victory against Cameroon. Malawi will round out their qualifying campaign against Mozambique in Benin on Tuesday. Cameroon moving forward here. Bassagog. Get the shot away. Bassagog still on his feet. And he rolls it through the keeper's legs to make it 3-0 for Cameroon late on here in Johannesburg. Christian Bassagog rewarding the faith shown in him by Cameroon coach Antonio Conceição. Called up despite the Chinese league currently being on a break. He's been at training in France in the meantime and comes off the bench here to put the result certainly beyond doubt now. Conceição referring to the likes of Bassagog and Onana as soldiers, warriors in his team. That's why he was so keen to include them. Particularly with home Cup of Nations just a couple of months away. Hoping they find their bearings ahead of that tournament, despite the tricky situations they've found themselves in of late. Ganago. There's Saliki. Ganago nearly got in. Chua. All taken off his foot. And Bassagog has scored a second in a quick succession. Lovely first time finish, just sweeping into the far corner. All teed up invitingly for him. And what an impact he's made as a second half substitute. You can see what it means to his teammates as well. A delight all around. James Lair Saliki has to take credit. Winning the ball back deep in Malawi territory and then providing the assist for Bassagog. Broad smile across the face of Christian Bassagog. Cameroon 4 goals ahead now in the closing stages against Malawi. Could yet add to their haul. Bassagog once more. Looking to turn a provider. Chua. Yaba. Malawi not giving up the fight, even though they know they're well beaten at Chua. And dragged well wide. Came on in that first half after the red cards to John Banda, Chakoti Chiwa. So heading in to the last minute here at Orlando Stadium. Mabazo, lovely ball in, and it just needed a better finish from Leandro Tawamba. Slicing it out for a throw-in in the end. Abubakar able to see the funny side of things. He fancies himself to finish off that opportunity, and he's still been on the pitch. Three minutes to play in terms of stoppage time at the end of this second half. Cameroon will take over at the summit of Group D for the moment. We'll move 2 points clear of Côte d'Ivoire. Foul on Basagog. Malawi have already seen enough of him, scored twice since coming off the bench in this second half. Chiwa booted forwards, and Godot allows it to sail over his head. It's been a very quiet afternoon for Andre Onana. Not tested really in the slightest. Only half opening Malawi had was he took too long with the ball at his feet, but not required to make a save. Bahokin rather, trying to create space for the shot. Petro, a couple of men to the right. Sanudi swings it in. Down goes Mbulu. Contact between he and Mabazo. And the referee blows up a few seconds early. All over in Johannesburg. Malawi 0. Cameroon at 4. The indomitable Lions going top of Group D for the time being. 2 points clear of Côte d'Ivoire. And we'll meet the Elephants on match day 6 to determine which of the two teams goes through to the final round of qualifying in Africa. Comfortable win in the end for Cameroon this afternoon. Vincent Abubakar, the captain, getting the first from the penalty spot. As Malawi reduced to 10 men. Andre Frank Zambo-Anguissa doubling the lead shortly before half-time. And then Christian Basagog, the best player at the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations when Cameroon on the Continental Crown for the 5th time, came off the bench in the second half to add 2 late goals and give the scoreline a rather more comprehensive look. Welcome return also in goal for Cameroon for Andre Onana. First match back since January. Côte d'Ivoire in action later on today against Mozambique. We could reclaim at first place with a win and would go back 1 point clear at the summit. If that is the case, we'll certainly be the favourites against the group's bottom team. Cameroon looking to make it 8 appearances at the World Cup finals. They take over top spot in Group D for the moment. 2 points clear of Côte d'Ivoire. Côte d'Ivoire up against Mozambique in a few hours' time. Cameroon then take on Côte d'Ivoire on match day 6 at home in Douala to determine who goes through to the next round of qualifying.